11 men died, but more than 2 years on, the Shoreham families still wait for inquests and prosecutions. And still there's incredulity that a vintage jet was allowed to perform acrobatics above a busy dual carriageway.
It just seemed extraordinary. But what is even more extraordinary is that nobody needed to know that a loop-the-loop was going to occur over the A27 or over the Ada or over any other part of Lancing or Shoreham.
23-year-old Jacob Schilt was one of the victims. His father told me they are patient, but they deserve help with legal aid.
Of course, the trouble is, if we have proper legal representation, the costs are going to be really, really large.
The crash of the Hawker Hunter in the summer of 2015 prompted a ban on displays by old jets. The jet crashed into traffic at this junction on the A27. The Air Accident Investigation Branch found that when it started the manoeuvre, the plane was too low and too slow, and when the pilot could have aborted, he didn't. Investigators blamed the pilot, but also criticised a poor risk assessment around the airshow. The pilot, Andy Hill, miraculously survived. He doesn't remember anything about the crash and has been interviewed by police. The delays and the lack of legal aid for the families has now prompted questions in Parliament.
When you have big cases like this involving a whole group of people, we had the example of Hillsborough, it seems to take an awful long time to get justice.
In a statement, the lead detective said they're working on the last few lines of inquiry. He continued, "I appreciate that this may be extremely frustrating to many. These lines of inquiry are nonetheless extremely significant to the investigation." Bob doesn't criticise the police, but the process is wearing. How hard is it to remain as level-headed as you are?
I don't know how hard it is because nothing like this has ever happened to me before. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
And the families are resigned to many more months of waiting. Simon Viger, 5 News, Shoreham.